Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's special presentation, The New Way to Exercise. And tonight we're going to be focusing on how impactful this can be for seniors to exercise. In the last 3.5 years, B3 Sciences has been helping people all across the country with a new technology called B3 bands. Now, why is exercise so important? We were designed to be hunters and gatherers. We are supposed to be in motion. We are not supposed to be sitting in one place. We are supposed to be moving. Aging is just the dry rot we program into our cells by sedentary living, junk food, and stress. New research is coming out, study after study, university after university. Muscle will be the #1 factor in the quality of your life after 50 years old. And when you have muscle, you balance out these two very important substances. Matter of fact, they're the most important things in your body. Nitric oxide, you've heard of that. Many of you have seen commercials for taking beet powder. And most of you know about growth hormone. Now, when we're young, everything's great. Look at that chart. We have natural levels of elevated growth hormone and nitric oxide. Into our 20s, it starts to slow down. By the time we're 30, we're down to less than 50% of this natural release. So as we age, these important substances that keep us young, keep us healthy, they decrease. Now add stress and it makes it worse. Once we are a senior, we are down to approximately 20% of the natural growth hormone and nitric oxide that we had when we were younger. Nitric oxide maintains healthy blood flow. We all know that cardiovascular disease is the most prevalent disease in our society. But if you maintain nitric oxide levels, which we'll talk about, you're going to dramatically reduce your chances of getting cardiovascular disease. Nitric oxide also helps with energy, vitality. It bathes our ligaments, tendons, and joints, fuels our brain, hearts, and organs, and it helps prevent and actually reverse atherosclerosis. It fights virus and bacteria, and it's anti-aging. The most important substance in your body, growth hormone. Growth hormone can reverse the manifestations of aging by 5 to 15 years or more. You will commonly hear people using B3 bands saying, I feel 20, 25, 30 years younger. There's no other single therapy available that can have the impact on your human body than what is sitting right in your pituitary gland. It's sitting there your entire life, but it's slowed down naturally. But you can promote it and stimulate it. And when you do, if you elevate growth hormone as a senior, you're going to reduce wrinkles, tighten saggy skin, decrease body fat, and most importantly, increase lean muscle mass, boost energy, rev up sex drive, make you look and feel decades, not years, but decades younger. Next, you need to make sure you are supplementing your diet with 4 key nutrients. You see, growth hormone and nitric oxide are going to keep your tissues young, but you need these 4 key nutrients to maintain healthy skin, hair, nails, bones, joints, tendon, ligaments, heart, brain, and eyes. That's all your connective tissue. These 4 key nutrients are specific targeted collagen peptides, essential fats like omegas 3, 6s, and 9s, fat-soluble vitamins like A, C, and E, and minerals. These are essential with optimal levels of growth hormone and nitric oxide. Now, here's what most people unfortunately are suffering from. They're not getting regular exercise. They're not able to maintain healthy levels of growth hormone and nitric oxide. And we start to see early aging changes, body composition changes, stiffness and arthritis. And unfortunately, many of us end up replacing our joints, cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, atherosclerosis, high cholesterol. And now an epidemic in our country because of our diet, and most importantly, the lack of exercise, blood sugar problems, insulin resistance. Add to that hypothyroidism and a further epidemic of especially ladies experiencing bone density issues like osteoporosis, and then brain degeneration. If you have muscle, I'm going to show you on a slide here in a minute that your chances of developing cardiovascular disease, diabetes, hypothyroidism, bone density, and brain degeneration are dramatically lower. What are the options? Well, all you got to do is subscribe to Harvard, and they'll say seniors need to do high-intensity exercise. But here's the problem. When's the last time you went in a gym and saw seniors doing deadlifts and squats? They can't. Heck, I'm 59, and by the time I was 52, I could no longer do high-intensity exercise. The only other option is dangerous synthetic hormones. This leads to muscle loss. It starts at age 35, and then every 10 years, the average person is losing 4 to 6 pounds of muscle. Most people gain weight during this time, which means you're not only losing muscle, but you're getting dramatically higher body fat. And there is a direct correlation between loss of muscle and increased fat and heart disease, diabetes, osteoporosis, arthritis, and even insulin resistance. And people who do not balance this out, who allow this to happen, are up to 4.6 times higher than the average person who is going to have disability. The solution, we're all told, is strength training and aerobic training, but most importantly, strength training. Book, The Secret to Longevity, called Younger Next Year, has laid out the plan. You need to exercise 6 days a week for life. But most people ignore the specific words. They're talking serious aerobic exercise. You see, a walk or a bike ride is not going to do it. You need to elevate your heart rate and create a burn in your muscles with both aerobic exercise and strength training. And here's what I'm going to teach you tonight. If you don't feel the burn in your exercise, you are not elevating growth hormone and nitric oxide. Now, let me repeat that. If you don't feel the burn, you're not going to see the adaptation you deserve from nitric oxide and growth hormone. You will not elevate these substances. And this is, I believe, the biggest problem we have in this country, is people think light exercise is going to take care of it. Stretching, yoga, bike ride, swimming. Most seniors are opting for these type of exercise, which do not solve the problem. They do not create the burn. All of you know what burn is. And this is what it looks like in your muscles when you are doing light exercise. You're using oxygen, the primary fuel, aerobic exercise. You're not using oxygen fast enough. Let me give you an example. You go for a walk around the track at the local high school. You don't feel the burn. But what would happen if you immediately went over to the stadium stairs and started running up and down the stairs? You would feel the burn. Why? Because you would deplete the oxygen, which is exactly what you need to do. And then you'd start producing lactic acid. And everybody on this call knows what would happen. If you'd get the burn, and then the next day you'd go do some push-ups and some light arm exercises and you'd get the burn, you would change. You would get younger. You would build muscle. You would lose fat. You would have a healthier heart. You would have less chance of blood sugar problems, and your bones would be stronger. Everybody knows that. So the solution is you've got to do vigorous exercise, seniors. You got to do strength training, and you can't do light aerobic. You've got to do vigorous aerobic. You've got to feel the burn. That is a challenge. But look what it looks like on this same graph. You see, when you create the burn, you've reduced the oxygen in your muscles down to a level that creates lactic acid. Very simply, you're working out hard enough to create lactic acid. And guess what that does? When you feel the burn and you stay in it for a couple minutes, which we're going to show you how easy it is, you get a big surge of nitric oxide and growth hormone. So here I am at 52 years old. I've already replaced multiple joints. And like many of you, I can no longer lift heavy weights. I'm losing my six-pack. I'm losing my muscle. Everything hurts. I'm feeling old. And let me tell you something, it stinks. I remember back then, I was not happy. I wasn't sleeping well. Why? Because I am now operating on the nitric oxide growth hormone of a sedentary 52-year-old. I don't want to look 52. I don't want to feel 52. I want to feel like I did when I was in my 30s. And there's only one way to do that: vigorous exercise. I went back in time. My experience was back in 2014 from Dr. Jim Stray Gunderson, who found this technology in Japan. And when I implemented it in my daily life, no longer hour workouts, 5, 10, 15 minutes, light exercise. Heck, I can do it in my work clothes. I'm never sore. I went back in time. My joints stopped hurting. I felt young again, got my six-pack back, was able to sleep, felt vibrant. And I wrote a book called What the B3 that explains how we can all do this, how your friends and everybody you know can go back in time. So now the breakthrough. Let's talk about oxygen. When we go back to my example of walking around the track or running up the stadium stairs uses oxygen faster. When we lift heavy weights, we use oxygen really fast and we create lactic acid. What if there was a way that we could do that light walking and it would be like we were running up and down the stairs? What if you never had to lift a heavy weight? What if in 3 minutes on your first day and 4 minutes on your second day, you could do something fun and easy and your body would think you just did a 45-minute high-intensity workout? Welcome to the breakthrough. It's called BFR, and B3 Science is the leader. We have pioneered it in the United States. How's it work? Well, if you look on the arms and legs there of the people on this slide, you simply slide these bands up your arms and legs. Anybody can do it. We have 5, 6-year-old kids put it on. 90-year-old people put it on. You use the pump, handheld pump, and you put a little air in it. What does it do? It gently squeezes your arms and legs, and it slows down blood flow. Now, your first question would be, why do you want to slow down blood flow, Dr. Mike? Because if you slow it down, I'm not talking about cutting it off. We're just talking about slowing it down by 20, 30%, which is completely safe. It reduces how much oxygen the muscle has to work with. The muscle cannot get the same amount of oxygen. So now walking is going to use oxygen like you're running up and down the stadium stairs. Incredible. Greatest biohack into exercise and physiology that's ever been discovered. You're going to do light exercises. With some exercise tubing, we will send you that's going to simulate lifting heavy weights. And you're going to create this lactic acid burn, and you're going to do it in a matter of minutes, not an hour, not 30, not even 20 minutes, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. And you're going to use a fraction of the weight. So you're not going to be sore. You're not going to be tired. As a matter of fact, after you do it, you're going to have all kinds of energy. And guess what else is going to happen? You're going to create the burn. You're going to feel lactic acid in your muscles, and you are going to surge nitric oxide and growth hormone like you did 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. And it is going to turn back the clock. It's going to create anti-aging. You're going to build muscle. You're going to build strength. You're going to feel younger, and you're going to take off body fat. On the left, normal exercise. You're going for a walk. You're lifting light weights. On the right, same exercise with the bands on. We're creating a drop in oxygen, a safe, simple manipulation of blood flow in just the arm. Nothing is happening back at the heart that's any different. The heart doesn't even know that you're doing anything in your extremity, but yet you're creating a metabolic change and you're skyrocketing nitric oxide. And you'll know it. Because when you put the bands on and do this, you'll get a buzz. You'll get an energy rush in your brain, and you'll immediately feel younger. Your joints will probably start hurting, and you will have energy for 3 or 4 hours. So contrary to lifting and doing high intensity exercise where most seniors are tired and they hurt, you're going to do this for 3, 4, 5 minutes, and you're going to feel like somebody hit you with a shot of rocket fuel. And then you're going to surge growth hormone. Nitric oxide is going to improve your blood flow, improve any performance. It's going to bathe your ligaments, joints, and tendons, make them feel better. In many cases, eliminate pain and inflammation, make your brain, heart, and organs younger. It's going to fight off atherosclerosis, antiviral, antibacterial, and boy, are you going to go back in time. And then you're going to get a big release of growth hormone. Imagine you're 50, 60, 70 years old. We'll talk to some people tonight, and you get a growth hormone surge like you're a 25-year-old Olympic athlete. Most people, most seniors can't stimulate any growth hormone. This will stimulate a big surge. You will start the anti-aging process. There's no other single therapy available that can have the impact on aging of your body that your own growth hormone can have. The growth hormone in your brain is sitting there at 30, 50, 70, and 90. It's ready at any age. And when you release it, watch your skin, watch your muscle, watch your body fat, watch your energy, watch your sleep, watch your vitality. You're going to feel and look and function 10 years younger. So how hard is it? Well, your first day, we're going to teach you how to do 3-minute arms. And you don't even have to grab weights like the people on the right. We're going to send you the exercise tubing for free with your B3 bands and teach you how to do 3 minutes of exercise. And then on the next day, we're going to teach our 4-minute legs workout with no weights. Let me repeat this. You're going to do this with no weights. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can exercise. We have hundreds of videos. So if you like your yoga or your Pilates or your weightlifting or your biking or your swimming, yep, they're waterproof. You can do any workout you want. Just get ready for it to be dramatically faster and dramatically easier. But if you want to just cut to the easiest workout, it's literally this simple. 3 minutes one day, 4 minutes the next. From anywhere, home, work, office, travel, beach, airport. I did my 2 workouts at the hotel out in the middle of the garden area in the morning. I did that Monday morning in about 6 or 7 minutes. And then next day I was in an airport. I did my 3-minute arms in the airport. See, no matter where I go, I never miss my growth hormone and my nitric oxide. Look at these guys. Seniors in their 70s. Dr. Chris Freeman put 1 inch on his arms and 2 inches on his thighs of muscle. You never hear this. John Wellman added 1 inch to his arms. When's the last time you heard of a senior saying, I put muscle on my arms? Not only muscle, 1 inch, and they're tight, and I've got guns again. You see, most people think it can't happen. You can't get muscle when you're a senior. Well, that's not true. You can get plenty of muscle if you can create the growth hormone and the nitric oxide. And the B3 bands are going to allow you to do that. Look at this couple. They swim. As soon as they started swimming with the bands, stronger, fitter, bone density benefits, immune system benefits, brain benefits. They simply went for their same swim and put the bands on. This is Janine Grohl's parents. Look at this guy, Jeff Parkinson's. Jeff has Parkinson's. He can't lift weights. Now he's building weights without any muscle. Look at Donna, quad amputee, like many people. Walker, wheelchair, physically disabled, physically challenged. Many of these people that we've helped, hundreds, are now building strength and muscle in spite of any physical challenge they have because it's so easy with the band. Here's a study on heart health. Walking with the bands on, creating the burn, stimulates your cardiovascular system to get younger, which is going to help with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, atherosclerosis. Guess what else gets better? Blood sugar. In this study from the Scandinavian Journal of Medicine and Sports, BFR, light exercise shows beneficial applications for people in the pre-diabetic or diabetic population who can't do high-intensity exercise. That's everybody. If you've got somebody who's pre-diabetic or diabetic, chances are they can't do high-intensity exercise. So they have no chance of naturally improving this. BFR has already been proven in science that it can start helping. Bone density. Ladies, in this study, there was a 35 times increase of the markers of bone density. It's called bone-specific alkaline phosphatase. 35 times. Not 35%, ladies, 35 times. The people in this study were walking. So ladies on the call, and everybody who knows a senior lady, we can put the bands on, go for a walk or do light exercise, or just sit down and stand up, or go up and down the steps. And we can stimulate bone density, and has an exciting potential for osteoporosis. Guess what else BFR does? It increases cerebral blood flow. That's called your brain. And in this study, they said lighter loads is exactly what our senior population needs if they're going to achieve IGF-1 release. IGF-1 is a secondary hormone from growth hormone. So in summary, our seniors can do light exercise, stimulate growth hormone, get a secondary release of IGF-1, which goes up into the brain and fertilizes the brain, oxygenates the brain, releases brain-derived neurotrophic factor. We could spend an hour talking about the brain benefits. Here's a peer review for people who want to know, hey, has this really been looked at? 14 medical experts concluded that BFR increases strength and hypertrophy, muscle growth in both young and older populations. It reduces blood pressure greater than traditional exercise. It's safe, and it starts the process. Get ready for this one, of breaking down coronary artery disease. You know what that is? Atherosclerosis. Let me repeat that, because most people have never heard this. They think once they get atherosclerosis, they're doomed. BFR starts the process of fibrolytic, breaking down coronary artery disease or atherosclerosis. Now, you're going to get these substances going in your body. You're going to do this incredible technology, and you're going to release nitric oxide and growth hormone. There's one more thing you need to do. Remember, I talked about it earlier. 4 key nutrients to double your anti-aging: specific targeted collagen peptides, essential fats, fat-soluble vitamins, and minerals. No other company has made a product that contains all 4 of these. Exactly what your body needs to start the clock, turning backwards on skin, hair, nails, bones, joints, connective tissue, heart, brains, and eyes. Well, soon, everyone's going to be exercising in a new way. How do I know? Because we're approaching 35,000. Doctors are doing it, celebrities, NFL players, and people from all walks of life all across the country.